So a while ago, Netflix switched to their thumbs up system instead of the stars, and I have been wanting to do kind of a decent attempt at figuring out if the new system is any good. Because there are a few little just things that have jumped out at me which makes me think that it's not very good. And instead of just saying, you know, those two things I saw means it's not good, I wanted to do something a little more thorough. So the first thing I did is, since DVDs at Netflix still use the star system, I went and wrote a little bit of code to put the DVD rating right next to the new rating. So you can compare them just by looking right there. And I'm not a fan of Friends, and the old system knew I wasn't a fan. 2.8 stars, which is probably about right. That might be a bit high. But the new system says 90%, which doesn't make any sense. And it'll do this and the opposite of this. It will inflate a middling or very bad score, and it will deflate something like Mad Men, which I would give 4.4 stars apparently with the old system, but only 62% with the new. So these are worrying trends that I would notice every now and then, but I didn't want to say the entire system is bad. Maybe there's just a few things that won't make sense, but the system as a whole is okay, and so I wanted to do something a little bit more thorough. And so what I did was I grabbed every single one of these scores, not the ones that don't have both of the pairs, but the ones that do, the ones that have stars and the ones that have a match rating. I grabbed them from every single one of these tiles that had them, and it turned out to be about 200. It's a pretty decent swath of whatever they decided to put on my front page. So anyway, I grabbed all these ratings and I put them on a plot, and first, just look at it. You can just see it and say something is very wrong here, if the old star ratings meant anything. And at least for me, star ratings were very accurate. So since the old ratings were a really good representation of me, the new ratings, to be decent for me, would need to look like this. It would need to be pretty much a straight line going up, with really good ratings looking really good in the new system, and really bad titles looking really bad in the new system. They should match up. And not only is it not matching up with anything, to the extent that there's a trend line, there's an opposite trend line. You can see that it's going like this, if it's going any way at all. To anthropomorphize the system, it's like the system is scared of rating bad things low, but it's not scared of rating good things low. You can see 4.9 down here, or 4.3. These are down in the 50s. A lot of good titles down in the 50s. Not so many bad titles down very low. And the insane thing about this attribute is that, so you can see that a high score doesn't really mean anything. A high score could mean 4.9 stars, or a high score in this new system could mean 1.6. And it's just this big spread. So high score doesn't seem to mean anything. Middle scores don't seem to mean much. But a low score, it starts to become likely that it's a good title, which is insane. And that's to the extent that there's any relation at all, because other than that attribute, it seems completely random. I really can't believe that this graph ended up looking like this. I didn't think it was this bad. It apparently is. This is after training both systems. The stars rating one was trained for years. This new one, I went back and put in as many as I could, and the results are unbelievable. It's provably awful.